Once upon a time, there was a world filled to the brim with mountains. Mountains so tall that soil could not even develop, and therefore there is absolutely zero life. And because of this, the world was admittedly pretty boring. There was quite literally nothing going on. However, if you looked in the very middle of the mountains, there's something there. As we zoom in, we see it is a shiny monolith. And while this monolith is currently surrounded on all sides and quite literally useless, but slowly over time, natural disasters and other things will begin shaping this land so that soil can finally return and maybe even the potential for life. And if that can happen, then this single tiny monolith right here in the middle of this land may be able to do amazing things. And we are going to be following this monolith for the next 1,000 years. I guarantee you this is going to be absolutely crazy, but right now there's absolutely not a thing going on. And before you even ask, yes, I have made videos almost identical to ones like these, probably way too many times. So if you're asking, why do I keep making these videos? Well, I mean, you're watching it right now, aren't you? So that's why. But just like in all my other essentially following nothing videos, I have turned just about every single world law on here. But you're also going to notice a world law off, the drop of thoughts world law, because this world law means that sapient beings will fall naturally from the sky. But since we have access to a monolith, we don't need that. So any sapient creatures like the ones you see down here will have to be made by the monolith manually. And like usual, the only way for land to actually appear on this map is for earthquakes to appear and lower the ground level so we can open up places for subspecies to even just walk around. Because if we do a little experiment here, if we spawn in a guy on the mountains, as you can see, they just start flopping around like a fish. So we are going to put him out of his misery. And as we unpause here, oh yeah, that's a lot of snow. That's actually pretty blinding here. Wait, it's actually literally glowing out here on the sides. Well, anyway, since nothing is clearly going on right now, I bet there's probably some clouds going over this, but it's not like I can really see them anyway. We are going to sim to year 250, but to make sure that maximum disasters happen, we're going to switch every age to the age of chaos. But you know what? Let's throw in a couple of age of wonders too, because you know, it can't just be hell all the time. But anyway, you might want to turn your brightness down for this, and I'll see you guys at year 250. And here we are at year 250. Our world is still surprisingly bright. I might need an eye doctor appointment by the end of this video, but it's all worth it. Maybe because I'm looking here now, there's not a single mob alive, which I'm not even sure if I've ever seen that in any of these videos before. Nothing has happened, which honestly, I mean, when you clicked on this video, you shouldn't have expected much from the start, but usually something more than this has already happened. However, we've actually had pretty decent earthquakes. We've had 2 earthquakes hit at the same time right here, which has actually created sand in a couple of places, which, believe it or not, is actually very rare on worlds like this. But the most important earthquake we might have gotten is this one right here, because it's connected to the monolith. But now if creatures actually do end up spawning in at any point, they may actually be able to be affected by it and evolve into something useful. Oh, wait, hold up. We do have 1 death, though. Where did that come from? Divine intervention. Oh, I did it? Wait, when did... Oh, yeah, that guy, the test subject. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel any regret about that at all. But anyway, for now, that's it. Literally, I can't even milk any more content out of this right now because there's nothing to even talk about. However, we are going to do one thing before we move on. If we click on the calendar here, as you can see, we did have the 2 Age of Wonders. And these ages actually do serve a purpose too, because this is where most creatures will actually spawn in. So, since we already have a nice world developed, we're going to add 1 more Age of Wonders, and over here, add an Age of Tears, which may sound weird, but if you look at the map here, you'll notice that occasionally we'll have a few empty void tiles, like this one right here up here, where water can actually go into it, which obviously, you know, for most life, water is pretty essential. But anyway, now we are going to sim to year 500, which is halfway there, and for the sake of content, I hope something has spawned in. And here we are at year 5 500, right in the middle of Age of Wonders. And it really is wonders because I can see that we've actually developed quite a bit of new land. And we even have mobs now. However, there's only 3 of them though. But still, that's better than last time. And if you look at this new land formation that's formed right over here, that is definitely blue water. So the Age of Tears has worked out. And yep, here they are. Look at our vast oceans. Wow, I guess I don't really know why I was so happy to see little water in the first place, but still, it's pretty cool. But where are these mobs at? Where are our 3 guys? Oh, shocker, they're crabs. They're always crabs. Yeah, I don't know why I expected anything else, honestly. And there are just 3 of them. Boker, Krabba, and Bakar. Looking at their subspecies, they are relatively normal. The only kind of weird thing that they have is that they have heat resistance, and they are adapted to the corruption biome. Both are things that they won't really be needing at all. And also in their birth editor, one of their default traits that every crab has is clumsy, which halves their lifespan. So that's not very good either. But still, nothing yet is connected to the monolith. Hopefully sometime in the future, an earthquake is going to connect some of these land masses. That's the best we can hope for here. But other than that, nothing at all. There's been no extra deaths, only 3 mobs, and we are halfway done. So the overall success of this video is getting kind of iffy. But anyway, for now, that is all that's going on. So we are going to sim to year 750, 3/4 of the way there. And I really hope that we have more than just normal crabs in the world. And here we are at year 750, and looking at the map here, a ton has already changed, more than just new land being created, but also things like trees. We now have 226 of them, which are palm trees that have spread all over the earthquake crevices and honestly have made this land look really awesome to live in. And based on what I know from palm trees, one of them spawned in these sand tiles, probably this one right here, and because of the Roots Without Border world law, they were able to spread over all of the grass. And now if these creatures want to, they can actually make houses. However, they may be too dumb to make them, as still 0 sapient species have spawned in. But there are now 20 mobs, and I believe they do have access to get over to the monolith, but it's kind of an awkward route. So that's probably why none have done it yet. But let's see what species we have now. Let me take a wild guess. It's just more crabs. It's always crabs. But with the first new crab subspecies here, they have some cool traits such as monophasic sleep, where they just like to take long naps from time to time. They are also super positive too. Everything else is normal, and they are born with the Heart of the Wizard trait, which is a very OP trait. That's awesome. And soft skin. Wait, so that means they just don't have a shell. You know, that would honestly probably taste really good. And here's the other new crab species that spawned in. There's only one of them here, and they have some pretty decent traits here, like accelerated healing, and also crab metamorphosis eventually turns into a crab form. But they're already crabs. Wait, hold up. Is this an infinite glitch? Because normal crabs aren't supposed to have this. As we can see, they're only the sapient crabs are supposed to have it. But if a normal crab has it, does that just mean he can't die? That's some insane crabception right there. And looking at his birth editor, oh god. Is the backstep ability and the bomberman ability, which is an insane combo. But once again, these crabs in every video love to just blow stuff up, whether it's when they die or just for the love of the game apparently. But that is all that's going on for right now. Somehow a single crab still has not died, but also the monolith hasn't been used yet, and I'm kind of worried because this video would honestly be kind of an entire waste if the monolith is not used at some point during this video. But we do have 250 years left. So let's pray for the best, and I will see you guys at year 1000. And here we are at year 1000. As you can clearly see, finally, the monolith actually did something useful. As we can see, a couple of crab kingdoms popped up. That's nothing new. We're used to seeing that. But what I'm more interested in is this cow kingdom. I mean, there's a fully functional and prosperous, or I guess prosperous probably isn't the best choice of words, but it's something other than crabs, which honestly, considering there was nothing 250 years ago, I'm shocked there's anything here now. But for normal cows to spawn in, they need grass biome, which I saw up here in this kingdom. This must have been caused by one of the religion traits or something. So cows spawned in, had to walk down to the monolith, and I think when they become sapient, the crabs would try to kill them, so they had to walk through here, I believe, all the way down here just to form a kingdom. Like, they were exiled down here, essentially. This is their only way they could survive. But for our other two kingdoms, they're looking sweet. We have the kingdom of Biak, with their motto being, "In death we trust." Ironically, they don't have a single death. And then we have the kingdom of Bakar, whose motto is dignity and peace, which is quite literally the opposite of the last kingdom. But ironically, they actually have more kills and a death, so take that as you will. Oh, and their king is literally just named Crab. But what about our little cow kingdom here? They have just 6 members, and their motto is "with coins and earth," led by King Mulam. And looking at our final creatures here, there's still 1 normal cow left alive, a couple of default crabs, but on the sapient side, we actually have 10 sapient cows, 17 sapient crabs, and 3 sapient sheep too. I didn't even notice them. But yeah, there's actually one sleeping right here in the cow kingdom. But anyway, if you stuck around this long, I'm proud of you, because especially at year 750, it looked like almost nothing was gonna happen. Here's what it looked like at the very start. Nothing, just misery. And here's what it looks like now. Probably not that much better, but at least there's cool trees or something. I don't know. But if you're still watching at this point, go ahead and like and subscribe. And that's about all for the day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.